Hey everybody, I'm Nayar,
And I'm Kavora.
and we are so excited because we are here at Challenges in Atlanta, Georgia, one of our favorite gaming, comic book, pop culture stores. And look who just popped in! It's our friend Eddie!
Hello.
Eddie, you shop here too?
Yes, I do. Often as I can.
This is an awesome place, and we are here with the man himself, Tony.
How you guys doing?
Hey Tony, tell us, how did you get into comics and pop culture?
Wow, that's a long story. Yeah, I don't think your show is going to be that long. Basically, since I was like 9 years old, I got exposed to comic books and chess at the same time. So in the very beginning, I really got into gaming, and I found out and stuff that I really enjoyed, comic books. Cause my dad used to bring me some home and stuff, whenever he, come from work sometimes. And there was a kid that was in the neighborhood that saw me reading a comic book, and he was like, "Hey, you collect comic books too?" I had a couple of comic books and they were shit on the shelf. I didn't know any better. I'm a little kid, so I'm just like, "Yeah, I collect comic books." And he's like, "Hey, you want to see my collection?" And so I go over to this kid's house, and my world gets turned upside down. He has long boxes of comic books and this thing called a comic book price guide, and he shows it to me and shows me how comics can be valuable, so you can enjoy reading them and they can increase in value. So I asked him if I could borrow the book. So I borrowed the book, took it home, showed it to my dad, showed him how comics can go up in value, and the next thing I know, my dad's like, "I can get behind that." And we started collecting comics. And it was it just happened to be every year around my birthday there'd be a convention here in town. And my dad, would give me $50 for my birthday. And basically I go to the conventions and I just pillage through all the quarter boxes and just stack up on comics upon comics. And that's basically how I got into comics and gaming, was my exposure to both playing chess and, this kid "Hey, this is comic collecting. What you think about it?"
Now Tony, where'd you grow up?
I grew up pretty much here in Atlanta. I was actually born in Memphis. And, unfortunately, we didn't really spend a lot of time there because I was a little kid. And my dad got transferred to Georgia. And we lived for a little while in Albany, which is where the whole concept of paying for pecans is completely foreign to me. Because when you live in Albany, there are pecan trees all over the place, like there are pine cones here in Atlanta. So it was kind of weird. And then he got transferred to Atlanta. Then, of course, for a while and stuff, I went out and lived in California through my, formative years of middle school and beginning of high school. Then came back here to Atlanta, and I've been here pretty much ever since.
Now, this is one of the center points of geek culture in the area. You have a little bit, or I should say a lot bit, of everything in the geek world. As soon as guests walk in the store, they are greeted to a plethora of new items. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, like I said, they always say that in business you should specialize. Being a hard-headed person that I am, I figured I would specialize in being diverse. So basically when you come to Challenges, Games, and Comics, if you ask "Hey, do you have?" most of the time we can say yes. There might be other stores that have more of something than we do, but we have a wide selection of everything and try to make sure we keep the most popular items in stock. And if we can't get it, we've got the distributors that we can place a call so we can get it for you. Like I said, we've started off as in comic books. I started as a comic book dealer back in '94. It was basically right after I stopped doing my cable access TV show, Sci-Fi Atlanta. And I was also, at the time, staff photographer for both the Atlanta Fantasy Fair and DragonCon. And then at that point and stuff is when I started getting into the comic book business. I went in as, supposedly a silent partner, because at the time I was doing wedding photography. And then, after a little while, wound up, taking over the business and running with it since then.
Tell us a little bit about your background in Atlanta Fantasy Fair and other things of that nature and how it allowed you to build this amazing empire here.
Well, like I said, I started off as staff photographer for the Atlanta Fantasy Fair I think it was back in the 80s. I didn't really have a lot of money, but I heard that they were looking for like volunteers, and I was a photographer at the time. I had my photography equipment, so I went down to the convention and I was like, "Hey, do you guys, need anybody to do photography?" And at the time they were like, "Yeah," and that's when I met some of my longtime associates. Was it Roger Benson and Fong Dong, who are also like still doing photography for most of the conventions. And they got me involved with that, and like I said, I wound up being a staff photographer for Fantasy Fair, and then years later and stuff, they recruited me to come and do photography for Dragon Con.
Excellent. So tell us about your store. Let's take a virtual walkthrough and see some of the highlights, some of the things that you're very proud of.
Okay. Well, like I said, basically this is like the new entrance. Since they've like recently closed the mall, we usually just use the mall entrance. But as you can see here, this is our Gunpla section. And we have a lot of the little model kits and stuff that people like to put together. Right over there where Eddie is and stuff, we've got, an apparel section. The back room through here through the double doors is our card gaming room. It seats like 60-some people. We've got our wall of pop figures.
Tell us about the gaming room.
Oh, well, like I said, that's where we hold tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. That's where we do a lot of our card gaming and stuff. Right over in this section is our comic section, where we have the newest comics. We usually have our gondola here that spotlights the new books for the week. We got them separated between Marvel, DC, and Independence. After they go from here, they go over to the comic section, and then they're basically divided up between families. So you got all your Superman stuff together, all your Batman stuff together, all your Avengers books are together. Then we get into our board gaming here. We've got 2 rows of board gaming. I think I can easily say that, within the perimeter of the city, I've got the largest board gaming selection in the city. Besides the board games, we still get into our miniatures. Like you see here, we got like the X-Wing miniatures. We've got a massive selection of the Wiz Kids D&D and Pathfinder minis. And they're actually starting to come out with minis now for Magic the Gathering. Here we've got the Citadel paints, so that everybody can paint their miniatures.
Tell us about the miniature community in the area. Looks like it has to be pretty active in order to have this much stock.
Well, the thing about it is that these miniatures are so popular
Yes.
that, a couple of years ago, there were other products on this wall.
Mm-hmm.
This line has been so popular because the miniatures are such good quality and they're very detailed, where you basically get, 2 versions of your character for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
So these are like really popular. And especially right now during COVID, a lot of people have free time, so they're actually working on painting their D&D minis, even though they're not able to get together with their friends and families to play. They give them time to paint. And then over here, we've got, like I said, the Warhammer stuff and the Warhammer paints. And we've even got more Warhammer figures on the other side. So people who have had like these, massive armies that they wanted to work on, but didn't get a chance to because of COVID, people now have the time.
And you do mail order as well, correct?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, as you can see right here, so like I said, these are usually our gaming tables, but for right now and stuff, we're basically using them as warehouse tables. We've got like, the thermal printers in, the scales, so now most of the time during the week, we're taking in orders and shipping out orders for people.
That's great.
They can't get here in the store. It's probably one of the things, the only good thing and stuff about COVID is that we probably wouldn't have done it without being locked down for the time we were locked down. But we basically went in and created a new website that has all of our products, all of our minis, all of our paints, all of our board games are all on the website, which is, of course, challengesgames.com. Get that plug in real quick. So, if you want to see what we have here in the store, it's all on our website.
Yeah, amazing. We love just perusing because it's endless here. It goes on and on. And you have all all little knickknacks, curiosities, clothing.
And then, like I said, these are our game topper tables, which are really popular. This is usually our miniature gaming and board gaming areas, with the nice little comfy office chairs and stuff like that. We're actually in the middle of doing a little refurbishing and stuff, where we're getting like new picture frames and we're about to put up new frames. This is our selection of demo games that during regular time periods, people are able to rent the games here. And then whatever you pay when you rent the games, you can turn around and use it to get a discount on a brand new version of the game if it's a game that you like.
What a great deal.
But like I said, during normal times, especially on a Saturday, these would be full of people, playing video games. But right now with social distancing, that's not something that we really have going on. How's it going, guys? Looking for any particular games or anything?
One thing I always wanted to know is, there's a lot of cool stuff on TV right now. Does this place keep up with all the greatest trends and toys that I actually like to watch and enjoy?
Oh yeah, I actually try to pay attention to a lot of the Netflix shows and things that are streaming on the different streaming servers like Amazon and Disney Plus. And it gives me an idea of what people might be looking for. Like when the Queen's Gambit TV show appeared, of course I watched it and I'm like, okay, I know this has got my, chess playing juices going, and it's probably going to key in with a whole bunch of other people. So I quickly loaded up on chess sets, that were affordable, that were nice quality, that people would see in the tournaments on the show. And they sold like really good for this holiday season. Or it's like I knew, guys like, the child here, good old Groku, was going to be hot, so I need to hurry up and get out there and, order these guys, before they come out. I know that the TV show Invincible is a new cartoon that's going to be streaming out there. So I've already loaded up on all the Invincible trade paperbacks and put them up on the website for people to get. Or even like Old Guard, so keeping up with, what's hot, or basically, saying, hey, that's going to be hot, is very important stuff to trying to, do a business like this with pop culture. So I have to stay ahead of, what's going to be popular. Like I was actually carrying My Hero Academia before I even had a chance to watch it. And then when I watched it, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and was upset that I couldn't get even more My Hero Academia products in.
Nice. So tell our listeners who should be coming here, because every time we come, you have packs of people coming in from all walks of life, but also why they should come here.
Well, like I said, this is a very diverse store. Whether you're into gaming, whether you're into comic books, whether you're into building model kits, we've got a little bit of everything here. And, even with COVID and social distancing, we're still a community. We have people and stuff that are still on our Discord groups. There's people on our Facebook groups. Our D&D Facebook group has got 160 members. And, a lot of these people and stuff, even though they aren't meeting here at the store anymore, they're still getting together in a community. They're playing online, So this is all about being a community store.
That's what we love about it. Every time we come in, we get a big warm welcome for you. And we can't get that everywhere we go.
Oh, yeah.
And we're from out of town. We're from out of state. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So like I said, for me and stuff, it's, I do this because I enjoy doing it. I don't do it because I'm going to get rich doing it, Yeah, I always, everybody already knows and stuff. If you're going to just, of all you're curious about is, learning about stuff, come on in. If all you care about is how cheap can I get it, we all know that online site you can go to, where you can get stuff dirt cheap. But if you want to,
let me see. Your prices are they're reasonable.
Oh yeah.
We always walk out with stuff.
Oh yeah. I said, we try to keep stuff, where people can get it. Even when things are hot. Like right now, Pokemon is outrageously hot. We try to make sure that we keep product back, so that our customers can get the latest, items.
I'm noticing that with comics too. You have an incredible stock of them.
Oh yeah, but we're
you're not the type of store that orders 2 issues of something.
Well, actually, that might be the smarter business. But it's one of those things and stuff. It's we try to get as many people as we can to like sign up for our online digital subscription service for as like comics is concerned, because I don't want to order too many comics, because if it's sitting on the shelf and they're not returnable, that means it's money that I've wasted.
Yeah.
So we actually offer an online subscription service where people can go online, look at what books they want to order them, and then we just put them in a folder form, and they just come in and pick them up and just pay for them when they get them.
So that you could pick it up in the store. You have curbside service.
Oh yeah, we offer curbside service. We ship. We do deliveries, local deliveries.
Amazing.
You know, so we can get you the product. Like I said, that's why most of the time now, instead of, you know, us looking like a gaming store and holding a bunch of gaming events, right now and stuff, we're like retail with a little bit of warehouse.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're constantly packing stuff up and shipping them out to people.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for the community that you've created here. We love coming here, and we're going to continue doing that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony. This is such an awesome store. Thank you for letting us visit.